How's it going, guys? It's Nathan from Nathan's DIY Garage, and today we're going to do a BMW E46 heater AC blower motor resistor replacement. Okay guys, so here's where we're at. Let's clean this E46 up. You can see it's a little bit dirty, and I noticed that the blower motor was not working at all. So when you turn it on, just nothing comes out, right? Okay, so check the fuses. The fuse was blown, 30 amp fuse. Replace the fuse. Now the blower stays on all the time no matter what I do. I've already scanned it, reset everything, did all the resets I can. So at this point in time, we're pretty sure that the blower motor resistor is stuck on. So we start off by, first of all, pulling this panel out. This panel goes up behind the glove box. It just slides out like that. So we're going to go ahead and take the 4 screws out on the bottom that hold the glove box in. And there's 2 here and 2 on this side. And you can see if you look underneath of it, there's like a little metal hinge. And we're going to go ahead and pull that out, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we are. The glove box is out. It's a little bit hard to see. It's an awkward place. So what we do to get that out, these little guys here have a screw on each side. And those, let's see if I can get the shot here, clip over this bar, and they actually hold the glove box up in the air. So that's pretty easy to get off. It's 4 Phillips screws. The little latches here, little arms, they have a little slide pin like this. The slide pin just goes through. I don't know why it's not focusing. There we go. Little slide pin goes through like this, so you just pull it from the outside out, and those come out. And then at very last, you're going to go and unplug the light from the glove box. Okay, sorry, not the light, it's actually the switch. So up here is your light, and you can see the screws up here, and there's 3 screws in the top, and there's 2 other screws right here. There's 1 right there, and there's 1 right there. That one's missing, so somebody's already been in here fooling around. Hard to say. We're gonna go ahead and pull down that entire panel, right? So once we get that entire panel out and down, I don't know why this thing isn't focusing. There we go. All right, so pull that out and down, and once we do that, we're going to be right to the resistor. So we'll come back here in a second when we pull those screws out, and we'll show you what we got. Okay, so here we are. We took the 5 screws out, in this case 4 screws, and we have the whole piece. We just pulled down on it, it came loose. So we're going to want to unplug this light just like that, and this other guy, he's not attached, he's just routed through it, I believe. Well, maybe it does go with the switch. So we're going to go ahead and unplug the switch also. That's for the flashlight. Okay. And this other guy's stuck in there, right? So we're going to discard him, get him out of the way. And at this point in time, you can see up in there, and you can see right behind the corner of that piece of ductwork is the resistor. Okay guys, so here's the part we're at. I went ahead and pulled out this guy here, right? So this guy here, he sets up in here like this, and he has a little notch right there on the side, and he hooks in, and that little rod goes in that little deal there. So there's 2 screws holding him in. You can see a screw hole right there and a screw hole on the bottom. So we took those 2 Phillips screws out. Make sure this thing stays focused for you guys. And at this point in time, we can see the resistor right there, the little plug-in. So you know how to locate it because this bigger plug-in right here is what plugs into it. Okay, so it's a pretty easy job. At this point in time, it shouldn't take any longer than probably 15 minutes to get in here. You're going to use a T20 Torx bit. You're going to take the 2 screws out of the resistor. Okay guys, so here's the resistor, and it slides up in there like this. Okay, and on the left hand or on the right hand side, there's a little clip. You can see it or not. Anyway, you got to push the clip over. You got to flip it over, and then you can pull this thing out. So we don't know 100% if this is the problem. You can't tell by looking at them. We're going to go to one of the parts cars. We're going to rob one out. We know that works, and we're going to put it in here and see what happens. Okay, so here's the resistor out of the E39. Now this car would originally probably have this one in it anyway. You can see the prongs are longer and thicker on it. This little newer version, this is a Bear OEM. We know this works. The blower worked in our parts car there. So this guy doesn't have a name brand on it. Might be eBay one. It's really hard to say. So we're gonna go ahead and plug this in Now keep in mind, we're going to plug this in, put it back up in the hole. Before we put any of this stuff back in, we're going to go ahead and test it, make sure it works. Okay, so went ahead and put it back in. We put the 30 amp fuse back in the fuse box, because before we had it out, remember, it would stay on all the time. So let's see, I put the fuse in and it's not on, so no release that far with it. Turn the key on, now it comes on like that. Everything's fine. It sounds a little odd, but probably has a bunch of crap in it. We'll see. Seems like it blows perfectly fine. No problems at all. It might sound a little different right now because all the stuff's out, but yeah, that should do it, guys. So any of you guys that have the E39, E46, I think it's the same as E60 and tons of other cars, this will fix your heater blower motor problem.